Yo, what up? 60 card, train deck profile. Shit's bonkers. It's pretty fun. Something new I'm trying out. Way more wombo combo heavy and just a different take on the deck. And I'm pretty excited to kind of progress with it over time and see what we can turn it into. Also, super weird flex, but I got one of the Toon box sets from Amanda LaPalme, and I just had to show it off because it was lost in transit for like almost 3 weeks, and I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. So I definitely have to show it off. So I mean, these huge ass Toon dice, super heavy. I mean, these things are just sick. And then, I mean, come on, can't beat that. New deck box. All right, so here is 60 card Machina Infinitrack Shadal trains. I have to do it in like halves. Oof. Oh no. There we go. Alright, sorry. Alright, so start off the monster lineup. We're playing one Infinitrack Harvester, one Anchor Drill, and triple Pegasus. Relatively standard. One of each of these, I believe, are fine. I mean, you might play more Harvester if you're wanting to up your Infinitrack package, but I think one is fine. Some people might even argue that the Infinitrack package isn't even that good. I think it adds a lot of consistency and lines of play, but this is more like a kind of a wonky combo variant of the deck, so maybe as time goes on we'll find something more optimal. One Trencher, 3 Brutal Dozer, and a Tunneler. Still, Brutal Dozer is probably the best one. Pot of Avarice and Combo Extender work really well. Being able to send Harvester off Stormer and or getting it engraved early on, like off Urgent, and then just being able to revive it later on to search Tunneler with Trencher is pretty fantastic. And then for the Machinas, we're doing one Fortress, triple Cruncher, and one Citadel. Seems to be working out quite smoothly. You need different names for redeployment. You could play the Trap card. I can't think of the name right now. It's a Machina Trap card. And it pops one of your machines and special summons a Machina from deck. Definitely not a bad card to play, but the only trap I'm playing is not even really a trap. So just, I guess it's food for thought though. Definitely another option that you could go with. For the level 10s, playing one Night Express Knight and 3 Darker. 3 Bullet. This obviously will never probably change as far as like, especially between the Darker and Bullets. Night Express Knight, you always got to play at least one. I mean, you could play 2, I suppose, in the deck. It's a 60 card variant, but 1 is pretty alright. And then 3 Jizukuru for Kaijus. This will probably be up to 4, 5, or 6, depending on how the format progresses, what locals look like, but Dragoons is coming out, and that card is going to carry autistic people through multiple games. So, can't wait for that. It's going to be a blast. And then we are playing the 1 Dragon and 1 Beast, just so you can open them up in your hands and make them as bricky and optimal as possible. JK. But that is what happens every goddamn time, just so you know. Doesn't matter how many cards you play. You could have a 100 card deck and you would still open one of these up. Doesn't matter. But in those rare instances where you don't open them up and you open up Shadal Fusion, it's cool, because Shekinah a train. Realistically, the Shadal package could be something that is taken out or tweaked around with something else. I do find myself citing it a lot just because it's an easy 5-card side, but to each their own. Hand traps, Gamma, my favorite hand trap, best hand trap, so good this format, and Triple Imperm, only trap card that we're playing as well. You could definitely up this to, I mean, it's technically like 6 hand traps, but you could very easily, I mean, Ashes, Ogres, Veilers, what have you, to up it so you're more consistently seeing interaction for your opponent's first turn, because we do blind second. Onto spells. Triple Switchyard, best field spell in the game. Triple Urgent Schedule, best quick play spell in the game. Triple Redeployment, search it, so you discard any card, search any 2 Machina monsters, or you can discard a Machina card, search any 2 Machina cards. You're just resolving the first effect because you don't really run any other Machina cards. If you played the trap, that's how you would resolve that, but again, I don't. You could very easily. I might try it out at some point. We'll see. 3 heavy forward, triple Shaddoll fusion, triple lightning storm. You know we got that pot. We are doing double chalice, double triptych tactics talent, and 1 monster reborn. And once I get another triple tactics, I can definitely justify cutting something for it. I mean, it could be monster reborn. Who knows? At desires. This card is fantastic, though. I'm a very strong advocate of it. Droplets isn't bad, but I just personally adhere to this card more. But droplets also very good. This card, love Monster Reborn. It's just a great extender. You're running so many big beaters in your deck that like sending one to graveyard and just I don't know. This card just has so much utility. Being able to revive Pegasus mid-turn after not resolving its effect if you special summon it out, like say off Urgent or something, but just being able to utilize his effect when he's special summoned is, I mean, it's a free rank 10. So I know it's a 60 card deck and your odds of seeing it are pretty minimal, but I am a pretty big fan of Monster Reborn in the deck. So but again, like you could do the third triple tactics or the Forbidden Chalice just up your consistency of seeing it, which I don't disagree with at all. So we will see as the deck continues to grow. So that's the main extra. Unfortunately, nothing too spicy. No Cybersteins in this extra, or Cyberstein targets. 1 Goliath, 1 Ingerknuckle, 1 Ballista, Genius, and Blackluster Soldier. This is the Link lineup. Genius is the one I'm finding myself going into less and less. It could be cut for something else, potentially. BLS is fantastic against your Eldritch matchups, and it's just the best generic Link 3, in my opinion. Also super easy to make as long as you're not using Brutodozer's effect that turn in order to get into him. We were playing 1 Omega and Shikanaga. If you resolve Gamma on your turn, you're just, plussing extra hard. Shikanaga is your Shaddoll fusion target, and she's a train. 1 Riverstormer, Chaos Dyson Sphere, and Sky Palace Kandari. Infinite Shot Combo Initiator. This outs cards like Avermax, and this is just your double pop. This is essentially stable. And then 2 Gustav Max, 1 Dora, and 2 Juggernaut Lead. Seems pretty sufficient. One, especially when you're running Tunneler, Jesus Christ, you can recycle, essentially everything, and with your bullet, your resource management isn't too hard in this deck by any means. So that's the extra. Oh, yeah. We've got these as well. That's pretty sweet. Genius could end up being like VFD. Omega doesn't have to be played either. Once we get that AA Nexus Zeus card, the rank 12 that slaps on anything, that card is amazing. That card is 100% going into my extra deck. That's a fact. Side deck. 1 Chalice, 2 Twinchester, 3 Cosmic, just more generic back row hate. The side deck I tried to make as generic as possible just because, in a 60 card deck, you're just trying to, I can't imagine that there's really too much room for techie stuff, I guess, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to make it as forethought as possible and just kind of keep the game plan as consistent as possible, just trying to OTK, but a little bit more stylish. 3 of the Mystery Duster Kaiju Moth. It outs the Wind Barrier Statue, and like I said, with Dragoons and just wonky cards like that. 6 Kaijus in a 60 card deck seems relatively optimal. And then I am trying out the new level 10 Gizmek. It's a machine, level 10, special summons itself out and can board wipe. Kind of has like a wonky effect too. So we'll see. The card's relatively new, so as I get to play test with it more and more, I'll kind of have a more developed opinion on it. So that is it for the main side and extra. I'll do like 1 or 2 test hands, see how they go. Kind of showcase what we can do a little bit. But this, man, 60 cards is cool. Definitely could probably 50 to 55 might be a move as well. Might cut out some of the engines and just make it like a little bit more optimal, but like still kind of keep that combo aspect to it, to where you have like more playability with access to a larger card pool. But so I don't know. I just kind of wanted to go to the max first and cram as much as into here as I could as possible, and just see like what kind of doors that would open and see what interacted with what. And so far it's been really cool. I found like a lot of really cool interactions, and that's kind of like the fun with it, because like I mean the 40 card variants, 45, like I mean the strategy is consistently the same and stuff, but like just slapping 2 level 10s on the field and going for a game, it's cool, but like sometimes I want to combo a little bit, so why not try it with trains? So we'll blind second with this hand. All right, well, we're kind of there. We're just gonna pray that they have an extra deck monster. So, and we have no interaction, and we're gonna draw. All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna play the hand out and just combo out with it as heavy as possible, just to kind of showcase what it does. I'm not playing across anyone, so I can't really take into consideration. They might have negates and shit, but bear with me here. So we're gonna shut all fusion, assuming they have an extra deck monster. A Shekinaga. We'll send Dragon. We'll say that they have a back row, just so I'm not. And then we need to send an Earth. Let's do Harvester. And by sending Harvester now, that will give us access to Tunneler later, which we can then Abyss. Cool. So depending on what our opponent's board looked like, we could special. I mean, hell, we could even chain the Derek Crane to the summon of Shekinaga if we really wanted to start clearing. So say they had like back row monsters, I don't know, what have you. Sky Palace. That's a double pop, inflicting 1,000, obviously baiting stuff out. Getting rid of shit. Normal summon. Target Derek Crane. Which would special. Bullet. Special. At this point, Brutal Dozer. You could also save the Derek Crane for Brutal Dozer's effect to chain block 2, but again, that was just kind of like an example of like going off and clearing before making your main line of play. So again, it just depends on what your opponent's field looks like and how you're trying to weave your way through it. All right, we can go into Stormer. And effects. And so we get any Earth machine. So I mean, hell, we could even do like Fortress if we wanted. And effective Trencher, Vanish. To special Harvester. We have not used Harvester's effect yet, so Harvester effects. To search Tunneler. Link 1. Oops. To Goliath. Overlay. So this turn, Sky Palace can't even attack, so it's not really worth keep it out. So we'll link those two away. For Anger Knuckle, Goliath will activate, will attach to Gustav, and the Chicken Nugget will activate to add back Fusion. Then use Fortress, discard the Tunneler to special. So Fortress can activate his own effect and discard himself with, for anyone that doesn't know, you can discard Fortress in any machine, and he will special summon himself out from grave, so you don't have to discard like high level machine monsters. It literally can be any other machine in himself. And then from here, you can activate Gustav. So that is now 3 pops. I guess, hypothetically, I guess 4 with Dragon. This is obviously everything that's been allowed to go through. If you really want to, yeah, so and then your lead play, you get Bulletin Grave. Obviously, you can attack for your 6. Now, if, say, main phase 2, you don't OTK or whatever, that's fine. You still got a pretty good board established. What I would do, obviously, you have to evaluate my graveyard. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah. So I would Anger Knuckle and Tribute, leave, and realistically, yeah, I'd probably do Shikanaga. No, Derek maybe? Because I want to keep Bullet. Hold on, let's evaluate this. Derek Crane, and then that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that works. That's how we want to do that. So we would use Anger Knuckle. Oops. Anger Knuckle's effect, Tributing Leap to special summon Derek Crane. This is all main phase 2. And then Tunneler. And then that way your Bullet is still live with your Pegasus. And you get to draw 2. This is where you draw the field spell. So your Anger Knuckle's just busted on your opponent's turn. But we never draw the field spell. Maybe a hand trap. Tragic. But that's how it be. And then end phase, this would add back. But that kind of gives you an idea of like the resiliency. I mean, obviously on your opponent's turn you have your Anger Knuckle to bring out your Bullet and anything that they clear. So, I don't know. That's one hand. We can try one more, I suppose. See what happens. The deck is very, very fun though, and I guess something I adhere to strongly with the 60 card decks is every hand, I mean, like you're constantly finding, it's like just different lines of play are always like opening up, and like I feel like with a 40 card variant, obviously you can find new lines of play and stuff, but it's just a lot easier with 60 card. Like there's just higher, more different hands you can open, obviously. So I don't know, it's just more fun to have like a different puzzle every time that you're playing. I'm gonna move this. Alright. So, Blinding Second. That'd be our 6 cards. So, opening hand would look like this. I'm gonna imperm them on their turn. I just know it. I'm gonna draw. Hey, that's pretty good. Alrighty. Interesting. So for deployment, if we want to access Metal Cruncher, that is the first thing that we have to do, because when we resolve his effect, there can't be any face-up cards on our side of the field. So we would have to discard something first. So, these seem optimal to discard, especially like I don't know if it'd be worth trying to bait out with like urgent schedule first, just depending on what. Yeah. So again, this just really depends on what your opponent's board looks like, and like if they don't have any hand, like if they have like one card in hand, it's probably a hand trap. But I don't know. I would try and evaluate like what their board versus hand looks like to start the line of play. But I guess we'll just kind of go off and. We'll be able to search later, I believe. So we'll try this. So we'll urgent. And special bullet on this half. Get the boys. And then tribute. And then chain. Effect special. Stormer. And I mean, I don't know. I always do this line of play first. I always do Stormer because I'm just trying to bait out negations and whatever to leave these guys open for whatever rank 10 I need to make. So we can search any Earth Machine. I'd probably do Cruncher. No, that's a lie. We're gonna do Citadel. Alright, so we're going to add Citadel to hand, activate redeployment, pitching the Citadel, which then allows us to add Fortress and Metal Cruncher. We have not summoned a bullet from hand yet. Alright, so you have two options here. You can either go for Switch Yard, and like if you were trying to OTK, obviously continue with the first line of play that we're going with, but you can also resolve the second effect by making an Anger Knuckle and then tributing a monster to get a level 10 out of Grave, which would trigger this special summon Pegasus, and you could go for a heavier like monster line of play, but you wouldn't be able to attack, whereas if you're going to try to OTK, you could activate, pitch, I would add bullets. God damn it. That's why they're all hanging out together. Link 1. Overlay. If they had Abramax, you could special summon that, make your Dyson Sphere. Spicy, spicy. Effective Trencher. Special summon Dozer. Link. Goliath effect to attach. At this point, Fortress. Oh, I linked off. Sorry, we're making Anger Knuckle. I was like, we're missing a monster on the field. We linked off Goliath and Brittle Dozer to make Anger Knuckle. Sorry. And then, yeah, pitch Bullet with Fortress, and away we go. And then Derek Ring, which will give you a pop. And you can then go into Leap. And I would leave the Bullet underneath Leap because you already have one engraved from this turn. So when you detach Gustav, so you still have your protection, and Bullet left underneath. That way, if you have to tribute or get rid of him on your opponent's turn, you're triggering another Bullet, and you can special summon this Bullet back from grave. Super plus or 500 IQ. So theoretically, you OTK. If you don't, you go end phase, Bullet, definitely target Pegasus in this instance, and then you have your Citadel loaded from earlier. And I mean, this is a pretty good board to end on because they have to deal with this. The field spell is going to generate a ton of advantage with Anger Knuckle, and you have a lead that's sitting at 6,000 attack that they have to get over. And if they try and like mind control or something, you just chain your Anger Knuckle. And for those of you that don't know what Anger Knuckle can do, or like what I'm referencing to, say they try and like, I don't know, they do something to mind control this, and the interaction with the field spell. You tribute, train, activating Anger Knuckle's effect, special summoning, we'll just bring out the other Bullet. Switch Art would trigger when a level 10 Earth Machine is summoned. You can special summon a level 4 from deck. Normally you do Pegasus. I have Pegasus in hand, so we're actually going to do Anchor Drill. So I can showcase this off a little bit, because this is just an even bigger monster slam. Anchor Drill would summon. Anchor Drill's effect would activate. You can special summon one Earth Machine from your hand. I'd special summon Pegasus. Pegasus would trigger, and I can special summon any Earth Machine from my graveyard. And that would... pick your poison. Leave. And now you just went hella plus. And obviously the first thing that they destroy, you just bring out your, like say they attack over Pegasus. Hey, bring out the Citadel effects. Anything less than 3,000 attack, or pop the Leap, anything less than 4,000. I mean, it's a pretty good backup plan. But so, that's a little bit of showcasing of the deck, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys liked the profile and give a little bit of insight on what the deck can do and what 60 card trans looks like. So, thank you.